This is our local Ace Hardware, where I just won a gift certificate for $104. So I'm gonna go pick it up. Pretty cool. So what a great way to start off this week. This is Carol at our local Ace Hardware. And I was informed that this hardware store, I put my name in a drawing and was selected for their one of their anniversary $104 gift certificates, which is amazing.
104 years old, family owned.
This hardware is in the same location.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's so cool. I feel so lucky, and I feel lucky that you guys are here. It's very cool.
We appreciate it.
This is amazing. And there are also 2 tickets to
Picture Dogs Cruises.
How about it? You guys are amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Dad, pretty cool. When you come visit, we'll have to stop by and say hi to Carol. Thank you. Good morning. I'm doing my morning slug check, and look, that's what I found. Cucumbers. Isn't that awesome? So excited. Very cool. Still some babies up here, but those, pretty cool. Fun.
Do you really?
Okay, I'm at the Munising Library, and we're really lucky because best-selling author Bonnie Jo Campbell is here.
Hey.
So isn't this awesome, Dad? I got my book signed. I got 2 books signed.
Yep, and this one as well.
And this one, and Bonnie Jo's not first book, but her book, Once Upon a River, was actually made into a movie. That's how cool and special she is. But you've met our library people before.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
How you doing? Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. So it's an exciting week. This is a woman from Falling Rock Bookstore.
Cafe and bookstore.
Cafe and bookstore.
And
so
delicious coffee.
And delicious coffee. So when you come, we'll get to do it. But wanted to share this really exciting event. Carolyn's coming for her big visit to her homeland. So she'll be out in a minute. Super exciting. There she is! Yay, we're about to start our adventure. I have one little baby duck. One baby duck. And one... Carolyn Jacobs is in the park.
Not such a baby.
Not such a little duckling.
Just a babe.
Could we have some initial impressions of Munising?
It's Africa. It's Africa right here in our own backyard.
Yeah.
Much less travel. Flight was much easier.
Right?
But a lot of the same
Vibe. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, this is Carolyn. She's looking up what time it is in DC because she doesn't believe me that right now we're in Eastern time zone.
It's 11:27.
In where?
Washington, D.C.
What time is it where you are right now?
11:27. No.
Yeah. What time did it get dark last night?
I don't know because,
You're already asleep.
yeah,
Why were you asleep? Because it was late.
it was late. It was like 10:30 or something.
Yeah. So this is Carolyn's moment of... Yeah.
I'll never get over it.
I know, right? It's tough. Yeah. So that's that. We are at Falling Rock Cafe and Bookstore picking up our lunch for the Pictured Rocks boat ride we're about to go on. So just waiting for...
These life jackets are a nice
We're on
auto
the
orange look.
Pictured Rocks
They
tour.
fit on right over your head. And then there's that very fashionable belt. Goes around the back, snaps in front, and you pull it
Out on
down
the
your own
water.
size.
And I'm going to turn on the GoPro in a little while. We're going to see Pictured
That's
Rocks.
all there is to it. It started at a fur trader's post on the southern tip of Grand Island. To avoid Native Americans passing sailing ships and later on steamships. And he wasn't the first to hear about settler on Grand Island. It could take
afternoon, Carolyn and I are going to see, we just finished our boat ride to see Pictured Rocks, and now we're going down to Miners Castle Scenic Overlook, which is not too far from our house. And Carolyn got the grand tour
Of the house.
of the construction and the house. Do you have any first impressions, Carolyn, to share?
It's different than it looks in the pictures.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. It's nice though. It's going to be very nice. And Doris is excited.
Yep.
It's all good.
A quote from Carolyn. It's going to be very nice. Thank you. Here we are. Okay, this is where our boat was today. Come look over here, Carolyn. See?
Oh yeah.
There it is. Isn't that nice?
Look how shallow it is.
Yeah. And look how small that boat looks.
Yeah.
You know, you can really tell how big it is. Grand Island out there. So it's really, as the locals say, it's very hot today.
Oh, it's a scorcher.
It's a scorcher. I think it was like 80, 81.
Yeah,
so,
I was warned.
Yeah. So good thing they told Carolyn in advance how warm it was going to be today. And after this, we're going to keep moving along up the coast. Over and out. Greetings from Grand Marais, which is at the top of Pictured Rocks. Carolyn and I just stopped for some vittles. We had some fried cheese curds. And then, of course, there's the lake. Can you see it? The lake. Carolyn got her pizza.
Pesto grilled cheese with the chips.
Nice. I got pesto grilled cheese.
That looks delicious.
Thank you. Thanks. I got a pesto grilled cheese. Hold on, let me turn this around. I got pesto grilled cheese, and Carolyn got a pizza. But we ate so many cheese curds. I feel like, if nothing else, the chips are coming with me. And we came up here because I thought that they had music down here tonight, but it looks like that's not going on. But that's okay, because we had quite the day today, so we're going to eat, chill out, and go back and call it a day so we can start fresh again tomorrow. At the gas station, and Carolyn was laughing at me because I thought this gas station only served side-by-sides.
Does he know what that is? A side-by-side?
I think you just insulted him.
A side-by-side is a dune buggy.
I think you just insulted him. But
It's not like he's never insulted me.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. So this pump is only unleaded premium. This one is only unleaded regular. And if you want diesel, you go down there and you pump, and then you move your vehicle, and then you pay inside. So I find that really exciting. What a cool place here in Grand Marais, Bayshore Market. There are woodpeckers over here, and I heard them knocking on the addition, and I thought they were somebody over here, but I see like 3 of them flitting around in this tree, but they were on the house. And 3, 4. Oh, there's one's on the pole. They are so. Look, where is it? Okay, there it goes. That was on a metal pole. Oh! He just came right by me. He's on the house. He's over there. Oh. But he's gonna start knocking. Oh, there it goes. Oh, a little yellow bird. We had a hummingbird in the front tree yesterday. Do you hear him? That is the dummy. Not on the house. You're gonna break your beak. Oh, I bet that's the one who used to knock on the metal TV tower thing. Where is it? I'm trying to get him on camera. Oh, they just flew away. Oh, yeah, they're down there. There they go. Anyway, exciting bird day around here. You guys need to go find a tree. Not my house. Over. Look, same waterfall. Different person visiting it. Pretty cool. We're here at Munising Falls. As you know, there's been lots of rain, so it's got a good spray. We're here outside of Das Gift House, and Carolyn is getting her first Squatch photo. Photo with a Squatch. And I suggest that you also get one with the weird bear mascot that they dress in different outfits. But it's a very important monument. And you think you have your phone, or do you want me to take it with this and send it to you?
Either way, whatever's easier.
So,
Here's his face.
where's his bum?
Where's his what?
His bum. It does have a big foot. All right, it's photo time, so I'm turning this off. It's all about the big foot. Carolyn and I are in this really, really awesome gift shop. And this is something that you can buy as a souvenir of your trip. And look how much it costs. And it's really amazing. And then also, Carolyn, show us. We're pretty sure that they got this at a garage sale. And
This is to display your paper towels.
from a garage sale. And can you show that piece of artwork that's on the next shelf? On the top. The multimedia, right here. Psst.
Oh, the multimedia.
The
Because there's so
multimedia.
much artwork in here.
No. Look at this one with this.
Made out of grass.
It's made out of grass and sticks. And what is this? What's that big black piece on there?
That's like a little tiny pine cone.
How much is that?
This piece is $50.
If only there was a half moon piece of wood with an eagle's head on it. If only, I feel like that would really encapsulate. Here it is. It's only $60. Bless you. So this is
There's
obviously
some good stuff in here, though. It's pretty fancy.
Oh wait, how about the bigger? Oh yeah. Look at this.
Bear dream catcher.
A bear dream catcher. And is
Dreaming
it
of you.
also a drum?
No, I mean you could make it a drum, I suppose, but it's a dream catcher.
It's a dream catcher. And how about this piece of artwork? Interpretive. This in case you really needed to go home with the puppies, with the bullet casings, and the hay bales in the back. And this one is the low price of $99. So we're pretty happy here, I'd say. So we'll let you know if we buy anything from this particular establishment. Over. Okay, this one with the hornet's nest and the bear, look how much that is. Yeah, they had to put it on there twice. So there's also that.
I see the bow starting to make its entrance. It'll go through both viewing wells equally. This bow is one of the most photographed bows in all the Great Lakes due to its accessibility, its age, and its condition. There's a thin metal strap that runs down that bow, and that was for structural integrity. And it also lowered captain's insurance rates. They did have insurance back then. Sure, it was a lot cheaper than today.
Oh my God.
Just beyond the bow, there's a big wooden post that comes out from the deck. That is the forward tow post. On the mainland, they would have hooked up oxen or horse to that post and towed this vessel through locks and canals. Welland Canal, about a 30-mile trip, wouldn't make for a long day.
How far is Argo from that boat?
So our glass comes between 6 and 8 feet of the bow and stern of the Bermuda. Bermuda sitting down here in about 30 feet of water. The next hatch is the forward chain locker. Holes on either side are paw size rope or chain motor pass through those holes, hooked up to the windlass, which is no longer on the deck, and help to operate the anchor. Very tight and cramped area. This was also sleeping quarters for two, usually the two lowest on the totem pole, or for the kids that didn't clean their bedrooms. Yeah, I'm looking at you. They never laugh.
It's not funny.
It is not funny.
I'm just kidding.
Next thing we'll see is a big round hole, 3 feet in diameter. That's the forward mast hole. The forward mast at 3 feet in diameter was 110 feet tall. They made the mast out of pine instead of oak because pine is a lot more flexible. It can withstand the pressures of wind and sail far better than oak. There's a small hole just beyond that. That is the bilge pump hole. There's actually two there. One of them is cabs. Now she came into Munising Bay leaking at the seams. Its internal cargo capacity was 400 ton. They overloaded this vessel by 88 tons. That's a lot for a wooden boat, 88 tons.
Oopsie.
It's a lot. Coming over the first cargo hatch, the larger of the two, they would have raised and lowered the cargo into the lower hold. It would have taken them about a week to load this vessel by hand line, bucket, and pulley. The cargo on board, at the time, was some of the highest grade iron ore ever mined. It's mined right down the road in the Ishpeming and the Ghani area. The type of iron ore was called specular hematite. They used it a lot in jewelry making nowadays. Back then, in 1870, that load was worth $12,500. Quite a bit of money, right, back then? Today's current market value, any guesses? $27 million. $27 million. It's like hitting the lottery. We're going over a broken up section of decking with what looks like a telephone pole in it. That's a log boom that the Canadian Salvage Company used to break open the deck boards. They did that to give more light to the diver. They did not have submersible lights back then. Diver of the day would have had the big brass helmet, canvas suit, and lead boots with an air hose leading topside. Second person of that crew, just as important as the diver. He had to pump air to the diver, and he had to do it manually the whole shift through a billow-style pump. Hopefully he was a good friend.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why don't we see any fish?
I get asked that question
Every time.
trip. We will start seeing fish in about August. Most of the panfish and bass are up on the shore, going through spawn cycles. The trout and salmon are out in deeper waters.
Good answer.
So they're just
Thank
not.
you.
We believe you.
Good.
They're just not here.
Correct.
Huh. That's weird.
We'll start seeing smaller panfish inhabit the deck here in about a couple of weeks. Long skinny hatch, centerboard hatch. If you've ever seen a sailboat out of the water, it has a big funny looking fin that hangs below it. That's the centerboard. This one was retractable, so when they were traversing shallow waters, they could tuck it up into the belly of the boat and gain some draft or some distance between the bottom of the lake bed and the bottom of their vessel. They would mainly keep it lowered in open seas for stability. Starting to come up on the aft cargo hatch again, where they would have raised and lowered the cargo into the hold. Just beyond that hatch, there's a barrel on the deck that is not from the shipwreck. It was found over by the island by divers. It was predated to the shipwreck. It's actually older than the shipwreck.
Oh, wow.
It likely belonged to one of the original trappers that set up post on the island, possibly the Williams Motel. That's going to lead us to the largest opening on the deck of the Bermuda. This is the cabin trunk area. The cabin trunk was 20 feet by 20 feet. It sat on the beams you will see below the opening, 4 feet below and 4 feet above the deck. This is where the main galley and the main sleeping quarters was. When she ripped away from the shoreline back in Munising Bay, she sank so violently the difference in air and water pressure caused the cabin trunk to pop off. Water rushed in, and that is what trapped the 3 crew members inside, who did perish that evening. As Captain Kate mentioned, they were recovered a few days later and are now buried here on Grand Island in a small historic cemetery. The railing laying across the cabin trunk area is the port side railing. There were some vessels that were tied off to the Bermuda. Gust of wind came up and blew them off the wreck, and they pulled the railing with them. That's why we have these large white buoys outside. They're mooring buoys. That way vessels can tie off to the buoys instead of anchoring around or tying off to the wreck. Getting ready to come up on the stern. Just before the stern, we'll see a small square hatch. That's the aft companionway, which would have let captain and crew down below. Had a little 3-rung stick-style ladder. In the center of the stern, we'll see a big iron post. That is the rear rudder post. Should be coming into view right now. The captain's wheel would have been right off that post. It is attached to a fully intact rudder down below. Unfortunately, we can't see it due to the curvature of the stern of the Bermuda. The chain wrapped around that post is original rigging by salvagers. They wanted to rig that rudder in a locked position, so when they towed it over here from Munising Bay to Murray Bay, it would track straight behind them. Stern railing used to have a nice finished railing on top of it. We had a bad winter, 2014, 7 feet of ice. Yeah, 7 feet of ice. That's not fun.
Holy, why?
Yeah, holy wow.
So we're looking at it from the top or from the side? Like is the boat laying like this or like this?
The boat's laying straight up on the bottom.
So we're looking at the
Just like we're sitting in this boat,
Okay.
it's sitting
That's
straight
right.
on the bottom of the lake bed. Yep. So that ice pushed some of that railing off, broke a little bit of it. We were pretty upset.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But we can't do.
There's an eagle. There it is. It's far.
Grand Island is a very pristine place. Not much graffiti on it at all. There is one spot coming up. It's the only graffiti on Grand Island. The class of 1967 was here with a can of spray paint. They claimed this area all as they own, and they were a pretty smart class. They almost spelled sophomores right.
They would have been the class of 69 because they were sophomores.
And they thought about that. They could have gone for it, but
Up ahead of us and off to the right is Sandpoint Beach, one of the more popular beaches in Munising. It was voted one of the top 10 beaches a few years ago by the Weather Channel. Ahead of us, and then there's 2 really tall, skinny trees to the left of the lighthouse. In between this white cabin and the lighthouse, there's an eagle sitting on the top of that one of the trees over here. Right? I'll line it up so you can get a photo of the lighthouse tower and the eagle all in one shot. The Grand Island East Channel Lighthouse is one of the oldest lighthouses built on the Great Lakes. They began building most of these structures after 1855 when the Soo Locks opened for shipping traffic. This particular one was constructed during the summer of 1867. The longest running keeper of it was George Pryor. He lived out here with his wife. They raised 2 of their kids here. He made about $400 a year. They stayed for about 10 months out of each season, minus the 2 harshest winter months. Then they would move over to the mainland. The light was completely abandoned by 1913. Better forms of navigational aids came into use. There is a set of channel markers out in the middle of the bay here. They mark the safe area for ships to come through, or unfamiliar boats, like the one passing through the buoys. There's also a laser light back behind us in the city of Munising to help guide the ships in, day or night. We look back towards town, you can see that that light is red. If we were in the center of the channel, it would be white. If we were on the other side of the bay, it would be green. Navigating into this area, zero visibility in a blinding snowstorm. They ended up running hard aground on an underwater rock reef called Trout Point. The bow of the ship had hit so hard it shot up and out of the water. The 16-man crew plus the captain, they all survived. They spent the entire night out here terrified, pumping water out of what was left of the cargo holds, sounding their distress signals. The next morning, the seas laid down enough where they launched their lifeboats, and eventually everybody made it safely into shore. The Hetler, the ship itself, was not as fortunate. It sat out here on top of the reef for another 3 years until 1929, when the Army Corps of Engineers, along with the help of the U.S. Coast Guard, decided that it was a navigational hazard, not to mention a bad omen for other sailors coming through the area. They stuffed the seams of the shipwreck full of dynamite. They blew it up into several large pieces, basically to get it out of sight, out of mind, and down below the waterline. What we're going to show you here for this one, some of you are getting a glimpse of it right now again, is a normal or a typical Great Lakes shipwreck. It's in the form of a debris field scattered over about a half a mile. So if you're a part of group number 1, you can start making your way back to the viewing areas. We're going to start at the anchor. The Herman Hetler was constructed back in 1890 in West Bay City, Michigan.
All right, group 1, come on down, welcome back down. Herman H. Hetler, as Captain Kate just mentioned, built in 1890, one of the larger wooden steam barges to operate on the south shores of Lake Superior at the time. Now this vessel you won't be able to see from outside is good. We are a little bit deeper. The Hetler was 210 feet long, 36 feet wide. Its internal cargo capacity was 1,100 tons, and we are on the anchor. Cargo she had aboard on time was 1,100 tons of table salt. They picked that up in Ludington, Michigan on their way to Duluth, Minnesota. The anchor down below is 5 feet by 8 feet and weighs about 2,500 pounds. Removed from the lake bed in the 60s. There she is. Before these waters were federally protected, that anchor was removed by a gentleman that lived in Magani, Michigan. He was a professor at Northern. He wanted it as a lawn ornament. It's an awfully large lawn ornament. Became a retirement age. He got in contact with a local dive club to include Captain Peter Lindquist, founder of Shipwreck Tours. They got themselves a barge with a winch and brought it right back out. Put it on the lake bed where he had picked it up from. Now as we float this section, this is the port side section that's laying flat down on the bottom. Any round holes we see on this section are port holes, and oval holes are hawse eyes where rope or chain would pass through. Rectangles holes would be scuppers, meant to shut off any excess water off the deck level. The raised board below is the sacrificial rub rail. Coming up on an iron wheel about 3 feet in diameter, the Hetler was considered a transitional vessel of its day as it was steam powered. That wheel was part of an external steam hoist and pulley system used to raise and lower the cargo to and from the vessel. We talked about the Bermuda we saw earlier, taking about a week to load at 400 ton. The Hetler, at 1,100 ton internal cargo capacity, took the better part of the day with the aid of steam power. We can see the open seam of the ship, the ribs, broken, cracked, and splintered. This is one of the places where the Army Corps of Engineers, as well as with the help of the Coast Guard, placed one of their explosive charges to set the Hetler below the waterline. Explosive charge of the day was dynamite. Any idea where they got it? The hardware store. It's true. We're going to get lined up on the bottom section now to include the engine bed. Massive 485 horse compound steam engines sat on these large beams we see below with the giant bolts. Part of the motor mount still on one of them. The bolts, for size reference, are about 5 feet tall. They blew the engine up in place as they were after the brass inside the motor, about 80 pounds worth of brass. And they were successful. As we float this section, the biggest, widest beam we see is the keelson. The keel is on the lake bed. That is the backbone of any V-hull maritime vessel still built today. The boards that run perpendicular in groups of 2 and 3 are the ribs of the ship. That gives the vessel its shape. Now, to keep the overall structural integrity of the whole vessel, the smaller boards running parallel with the keelson are the sister keelsons. There's a lot of twisted up steam piping down below as well as some I-beam. This vessel had a little internal rail set up with a cart so they can move cargo forward and aft of the system, or up their cargo hold. The long flatboard below is actually the keel, runs bow to stern. All this technology is still used today when building any V-hull maritime vessel. We just don't use white oak as much anymore. Aluminum, steel, fiberglass. Carbon fiber's trying, but they're not doing too good. So we're going to take a trip out to the reef, show you what the Herman H. Hetler hit. The captain came out after about 10 days and assessed the damage to the Hetler. The stern had broke off after about 10 days. All the salt leached in the Lake Superior. He came out, took a look at the vessel, and it's like, wow, it's pretty broken apart, man. All the cargo's gone, it's all in Lake Superior. It's a total loss. So everybody thought it was a total loss. Everybody except for the locals. They think that's why our whitefish tastes so good. Pretty salty. Down below, keep your eyes down below, we'll see some darker blackish blue chunkier rock. It's actually iron ore. It was left over by another vessel that hit the reef about 10 years prior, and that was the MM Drake. There's some of it right there. That's all iron ore. The Drake hit the reef about 10 years prior to the Hetler. It ran hard aground, got stuck. They threw overboard 100 ton of their cargo, which was the iron ore. They were able to regain buoyancy. They sailed about another 10 years, but they still ended up at the bottom of the lake bed over by Whitefish Point, east of here. Same place where the Emma Fitzgerald went down about 13 miles off of the point, just inside Canadian waters. It's a great place to go visit. They have a nice shipwreck museum there. The Drake's rudder is in the front yard, and they have a nice Emma Fitzgerald display. Now the reef comes within 8 feet of the surface. Again, we draft for the Herman H. Hetler, fully loaded, 14 feet of draft. It needed 14 feet of water below it. Ended up a little too far west. It had to be on the other side of the channel marker out in front of the boat. It wasn't there at the time. All they had was a paper chart and a compass. And Who knows where they got the paper chart from? Some guy in the bar. So when we peer over the edge of this reef, we'll be looking at 34 to 37 feet deep. There's quite a few artifacts down here. Like I said, the stern broke off after about 10 days. See a lot of debris. There's 3 boilers. There's a boiler cap over here in the port side viewing well. What do we got over here? Section of the smokestack. So this is a 10-foot section of the smokestack here. It's going to come through both viewing wells. 3 of those stacks made, or 3 of those sections made for a 30-foot stack. Just beyond it, we'll see a white line and a white ring. The white line is the original cast iron claw flip top of the captain's quarters. The white ring, any guesses?
Toilet.
Oh, come on. It is a toilet. You're correct. Over 100 years old, it never runs out of water. Divers go down, they sit on the toilet, take selfies with peace signs. And then they send them back down with a toothbrush to clean up after themselves. They do? Yeah, they sure do. I have not. Because I don't have my bachelor. I still need to get that, yeah. So there's another look at the reef, right? It comes up quick and in a hurry. If you could imagine being in a 210-foot long vessel and running into a giant rock, it's probably going to hurt. Stuff is going to move. All that energy has to go somewhere. And this is where we're going to swap out groups, folks. So group 2.
Okay, so this area here is, if you watched the Sasquatch documentary that we watched, hold on a second. Hi.
Hi.
So this piece of forest right here is right across. If you watched that documentary, you saw 2 sisters in Munising who saw Sasquatch run across the road. Squatch. And they were right by the Holiday Inn because that wasn't there then, but it's there now. So we are by the Holiday Inn right now. And this forest is where Sasquatch ran
Yeah.
across the road to get into. So he at some point lived right here.
Right here. This is Sasquatch land.
This is exactly where he ran.
And we stumbled upon this scenic outlook right where we were talking about Sasquatch running across the street.
Sasquatch could have built this ramp.
Sasquatch was like, I love this and everybody else should too. And
This is the kind of life he leads. Or she.
but without a boardwalk.
Right. And I bet, he was probably coming from the beach because the hotel wasn't there at the time.
Yeah.
He probably went down to wash his paws.
This is a good scenic outlook. Look, you can see the pictured rocks. This is really nice. I'm glad we discovered this.
Yeah.
This is great. Squatch. That's exactly where Squatch ran across the street. This is a great view because you can see in the distance pictured rocks.
This is a nice view.
It's a wonderful view. And then we were just out there, just past that sandbar on the left by the island. Oops, there with the shipwreck tour. So there was a shipwreck just right over there. But this is really great. And then Sandpoint Beach over there, and the lighthouse over there, and Squatch ran across the road right here. So really
If you were in
beautiful.
Africa right now, there'd be like elephants and monkeys.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not here.
In the Africa and America, it's a little different. This is apparently Grand Island Harbor. So, we are excited. over. We are at a waterfall this morning. Never been. This site became the property of the people of Michigan for the General Women's Farm and Garden Association. Well, that's fun. Are you ready for another waterfall? See? Let's walk this way. It should be like right here. It's a scenic site.
Wagner Falls.
Emergency information. Wow, is it that bad?
I guess you can give them money.
I think I've been here before with... I think I came here with the Salmonins a million years ago. Carolyn's always got to take the shit from the little things. Cute little path. So our ultimate destination today is Kichirikipi, which is the Chippewa or Ojibwe or something word for big spring.
I thought you were going to say Bigfoot.
Oh, that's Squatch.
Right.
Different.
Sasquatch.
We got some good Sasquatch footage yesterday. Yeah. It's gonna appear on the... Oh, that's human. She may have a big foot, but...
She may have clubfoot.
What's the other Sasquatch? Clubfoot. Morning.
Hello.
Hi. Morning.
Good morning.
Walk over here. Morning. I like this blanket of needles.
But if you try to sleep on that with a sleeping bag, you slide right off. Because I've done that before.
Oh yeah? Where? Look at this big spider web. Or maybe no, it's just the sun shining through the...
Girl
Too bad.
There you go.
Oh wait, is it? Oh, it is.
What are you looking at?
It's right there, the spider web.
Oh,
Sorry, I like spiders.
I can't even see it.
It's in there. Oh, it's in there, all right.
I'm sure it's not the only one.
Not. I envision this being a lot closer.
I can hear it. But, well, I
Yeah, it's
see a
right
little
there.
creeping.
Yeah. So wait, where did you sleep on the needles?
A Girl Scout camp. Or church camp, I don't remember what. Childhood camp.
Childhood camp. And you
I
just
used to go to Girl Scout camp and church camp. And horse camp. I went to a lot of camps.
Yeah. You never came up here, huh?
Not in California, no. We have mountains.
You got here as soon as you could.
As soon as I can. Exactly.
Yes, I believe the Salmonins brought me here ages and ages ago, and I always wondered which waterfall that was. Didn't know. Pretty sure it was this one. Here we are, Wagner Falls. Nice. It's cute. It's got a few different thing over there, thing over here. That's nice. All right, we're gonna check it out. Over and out. I just want to show that in 3 more clicks, we're gonna be at 10,000 miles. And that's gonna happen in the next stretch. So pretty momentous occasion here. We are at Kichirikipi today, and Carolyn's never been here before, of course, and I've only been here one time before, but I think Carolyn's going to be really surprised for how big and cool Kichirikipi is. So I'm excited to see her reaction once we get out to the middle of the spring, and I will record some of it for you. You can make something up about this place too. Could you tell us the story of Kichirikipi, Carolyn?
There's a guy named Bel Air, no relation to the fancy neighborhood in LA, who championed this place. I don't know if he was human or Scotch or what. I just just read it on the sign.
He was Squatch. He was half human, half Squatch. The woman was a Squatch.
You do the math.
Yeah, you figure the rest of that one out. There's a lady over there talking, but she's talking to everybody and to nobody at the same time, so it's not a very good presentation of the facts. And I use the word facts loosely. But we're gonna get on this boat in a few minutes. Raft, I should say.
Who's pulling? I know, isn't it amazing? I told you. Peachy, it's so cool.
What do you think, Carolyn?
All right, folks, it is
Did you want to go help them?
wishing well, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Please do not drop anything in there. My fish, they are not smart. They will eat them. They think it's food. They cannot digest it, and they will die. Also, watch your hat, cell phone, sunglasses, car keys, small dogs, kids, husbands. Don't drop any of them into the water. I cannot promise you I will get them back for you. Also, it causes me to have to do a lot of folks. I am not a fan. I need that wheel to be.
So right there, that's where the water.
Okay, Janet is going to make contact with Lake Superior. Janet entering the lake from this crusty looking ramp. Kicked off the old flip flops. There she goes. She likes it.
If we do that beach up there, it's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm happy.
The world's smallest beach right here. But it did what it needed to do. Be a beach. Here she comes back out of that.
As all the properties of a real beach, getting your feet on safety.
This is like an African beach in miniature. There's lots of trash and debris, ruins from
It has everything you ever needed about a beach.
all in just a few yards, square yards. So.
Sand and everything.
There you go.
Thanks, very much.
So we're wrapping up a fun Carolyn visit. Not the visit, the video. And it'll be to be continued in next week's video because we have a lot more to see and do. Yeah. But Carolyn, we'd love to hear your initial impressions.
It's cold and fresh. Did you show the lake?
I think they've seen it before.
Have you seen our lake?
Yeah.
That's a Peace Corps joke.
It's a Peace Corps joke, yeah. But it's end of the day and the sun's not going down for hours and hours, but it's a little chilly right here next to the lake and stuff. So anyway, great day, great trip so far. More to come. Have a great week. Thanks for watching.